Hi friends, today we're going to introduce you to the Buffalo RP, a reactive polymer for paint, metal, and acrylic. And we're also going to show you a little bit about the Buffalo AP or Alpha. That's going to be our one-step paint polish. The Buffalo RP, we're going to talk a little bit more about the metal application and the polycarbonate application in a different video. But today we're just going to focus on paint. So we have a older Citation Sovereign behind us, about 15 years old. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a test section on this airplane for you to see the application process. First off, what you want to do is wash the airplane, dry wash it, wet wash it, whatever you prefer in your location, and make sure that the aircraft has bugs and oil and grease and things removed from it. You're going to need to have microfiber towels. You'll need to have the Buffalo Alpha and the Buffalo RP. You will need an orbital polisher like this one to do the application. I prefer Ryobi. They're relatively inexpensive, battery operated. Then you don't have to worry about cords, which is a huge benefit. I also recommend the Roops 21. The 21 has a big oscillation, gives us a lot of corrective power. The battery powered one's awesome because it just gives us a little bit more flexibility. We're not worrying about cords. After I assess the paint, this aircraft is in a little bit of a rough shape, so we're going to make sure that we use a more aggressive polishing pad. That's the benefit to the Alpha. It's one polish, but based off of the condition of the airplane, we're going to decide which pad we want to go with. And today we're actually going to go with, not the foam one, we're going to go with the microfiber pad that's going to be a little bit more aggressive and allow us to give that sheen that we want and pull all of that junk and oxidation off of the paint. So we're going to switch locations here, and we're going to show you kind of the test section that we're going to do and how to go ahead and apply the Buffalo RP to the airplane. All right, here we go. As you can see on the side of this fuselage, we taped out an area just so you can all see the distinguishing difference between what the paint used to look like and what it's gonna look like. So if you look up here in this area, you can see all the staining, lots of discoloration, just years and years and years of just, you know, flying and having all this kind of stuff build up on it. So we're going to start out with the Buffalo Alpha. Got my Roops polisher here. We're going to put a couple of drops on the pad. That's about all you need. And we're just going to kind of move it around a little bit and then get started. One thing I want to point out about the Buffalo AP is that it has a very low fling. So it's not going to fly all over the place. It also doesn't get chalky. The huge benefit to not having it be chalky is the product is more persistent. So it's going to stay on the surface longer and do more work. And the cleanup is super easy. So let's get started. We're going to start out on 1. And if we have to move our machine up a little bit, we will, but we'll just start out on 1 and see how it goes. Go a little, we'll go up to about 4. 4 sounds about good. We're just doing nice, smooth, easy passes. I've got moderate pressure, but I'm not pushing super hard. I'm just letting the product do the work. Now my pad was new, so I'm going to put a little bit more product on there. Just a little bit. We'll go back at it. So on these little creases, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my machine up and I'm going to make sure that the corner of my pad is catching inside of that crease, just so we don't have any areas that we miss. And that's about all I really needed to do. It didn't take a whole lot to bring that back. Grab my microfiber towel that we had ready on the side. Just kind of rub off the excess. about it. Looks fantastic. Pretty easy. So now we want to do the reactive polymer. We're just going to use our 10-inch orbital. Make sure our bottle's shooken up really well. And it's really that simple. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Now, the polymer is going to spread really, really well as the pad builds up. But for this instance, I just have 4 little circles, little dots on there, I guess. And we're just gonna work it side to side, real easy, up and down. And just for good measure, one more time, side to side. There we go. We applied that section. Now to take it off, you can take it off right away. You can do an entire section of the airplane. It just depends on what area you're working at. Sometimes it is going to be easier to do an entire panel than just do small sections. But to take it off, I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera. There, it is there. You can kind of see that little, where I removed it right there. But to take it off, you always want to use, if possible, a microfiber on top of your orbital. What that does is it distributes the pressure evenly. So if we use our fingers in a microfiber, we're kind of pushing like this, and that might cause some the product not being uniform. But this is the easiest way. If you're in really tight sections, you can use your fingers on a rag, but this is really the best way for big panels. And then we just go side to side, just like we did before. Up and down real quick. And that is it. That's really it, my friends. It's that simple and that easy. Now the coolest part about all of this is we want to see the results. So let's check out the results. We pull our tape. That's a little bit of a difference there. Check that out. So you can see how much staining and just dirt and grime was in the paint over the years. The oxidation, you know, the staining, all that stuff. Let's see if we can get some better angles on that so you can see it a little bit better. Lighting's a little difficult, but that's actually a good spot right there. Look at that corner. What a difference in color, especially down here. Look at that. That's all you need to do. That's the basic of it, of the installation process. We'll fill you in on some tricks and tips later, but until then, enjoy doing the polymer, and we wish you best of luck.